If you're watching the recording, we are very happy that you are looking for this information. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. We'll open with Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Okay. So the goal of this time is to give you more information. Something got you in the door, something got you here, or something got you watching the recording. So you're interested. And so we want to provide those details about the marathon itself, the training, where we'll be staying, all the things about the Racecation. All right, so we're going to start with our connection. So about 30 seconds, share your name, your location, and your why. Why are you considering this wonderful event? So I'll get started. My name is Agina, and I am one of the ME coaches. My location is Roswell, Georgia. My why, my real why, or no, just joking. My why is that I want to improve from my only other marathon I ever did. I want to feel healthier and stronger. Not necessarily beating my time, but I definitely want to feel stronger completing this second marathon. Let's go with Amani.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I'm Amani. I'm in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And my why is similar to yours, Agina. I done 2 marathons and I want to finish even stronger this time. Basically, like you said, I don't know if I'm going to be any faster, but hopefully it'll be a little bit stronger. Inshallah.
Hold on. Miriam.
Hey, assalamu alaikum. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. As of last week, alhamdulillah, I'm so happy. I love every event that Muslims Endures puts out. So that's why I would like to learn more about this new event and become a better sister, mom, woman, all things, inshallah.
Thank you. Nora.
My name is Nora Goodson. I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia. My why is I've done 1 marathon before, and I don't really think marathon is my distance. I don't necessarily enjoy the marathon, but I found myself at a place where I haven't been consistent with my running like I normally am. So I wanted to use a marathon because out of all trainings and all distances, marathon takes a lot of discipline. And a lot of dedication, and I feel like that is a way to hold myself accountable. And I thought that the Every Woman's Marathon was like just a really, really dope race to do. So that's my why.
All right, thank you, Nora. Someone just joined, so 678 number.
Hey, assalamu alaikum, it's Mary.
Walaikum salam, Mary. So we're just sharing our name, our location, and why we are choosing to do this race, or interested in doing this race.
Is it my turn or?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Mary Clemens. I am in McDonough, Georgia. Why I signed up to do the race, I want to feel comfortable running again with the weight I've gained. I feel like it's been a struggle with accepting how I feel and I guess how slow I'm running. So this would be like an extra push. Another motivation was just how many of my friends joined, and it reminded me of the Savannah trip we did for, well, twice, like the 5K and the half marathon. So, you know, having that support, being familiar with the area, is part of why I did. Also wanted to do it. I always thought I would never do a full marathon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing how my body responds to this level of commitment. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. Amina, we are just sharing our name, location, and why we are interested in the marathon. So your turn is up. Assalamu alaikum.
So I try to unmute and I just got in. So yes, my name is Amina. My location is Ellenwood, and I'm interested. I'm not saying I signed up or anything, but I was just interested in basically just to push myself to, when they say you run, walk, you could do different, to get there. So just to push myself and just to get fit, I think is a great goal um, to help with getting fit.
Thank you. Awesome. And so if you are watching the recording, I'd like for you to pause the recording and answer these questions for yourself. Oh, you know your name and location, but what is your why? Why are you considering this race with ME? All right. So what is a marathon? If you didn't know, it is 26.2 miles. It is a distance event. And what's interesting about this is like, it doesn't have to be a continuous run. It could be a run walk. It's just about completing the distance. And so for something like this, it does take a lot of dedication. You definitely have to follow a plan in order to be prepared on race day to complete the race without injury and things like that. So that is what a marathon is. We will learn lots more about what the training looks like if you decide to run with ME for this. We will have another meeting to go in depth of what the training is going to look like. All right, so the Every Woman's Marathon. I still remember when Nora was like, we had decided on a location and everything for our marathon. And Nora was like, so don't kill me, bird. I had this idea. I just heard about this thing. So that's how I learned about Every Woman's Marathon after we had already chosen a different marathon. And then this thing blew up. You've probably seen it in social media all over the place. And they're really targeting women of all ability levels. The course is open for a long time. The course is open for 7 hours and 45 minutes, which means if you can walk at that pace that's listed, 17 minutes and 45 seconds, you could walk this race. Welcome, Stephanie. And so the date is November 16th. It's in Savannah, starts at 7 a.m. And you can see here that there are a lot of race perks that go along with this. There's a huge, it's powered by Milk. What is it? Team Milk is the sponsor. So there's a big sponsorship behind this. And so I feel like it's going to be a really cool race. Please visit the website, watch the videos. They're actually taking submissions for your race journey. I thought about a couple people in this group who've shown interest. They want to hear, like, why are you doing this? They want to hear, like, if you're into that, I would love for a Muslima to be represented in their video showcase of why they are doing this race. So if that piques your interest, please look into that. I think the deadline is coming up, but they're taking submissions for that. But it's going to be a really cool race. Savannah is flat. Right now, this is a really good price for a marathon, I think. So this is the price. It will go up. Not sure the next date, but it'll probably be soon over the next couple of months. But yes.
Yeah.
You wanted to go ahead, Nora?
No, I was just going to say just what you were saying about the price going up. They don't have, most races have like a schedule of when their prices are going up. All they put is limited time. So they actually just randomly raise the price whenever they feel like it. And I'm sure it's based on how many registrants they have at a particular price point. So if you're like really interested in doing it, then I would say register for it as soon as possible before the next price increase. Because honestly, a lot of us got in when it was like $60, $50, which is like an amazing price for a marathon. And you'll get these slides, and the link where it says about EWM takes you directly to the website.
Before we move on, could we have a moment? Stephanie, would you mind? We shared some just 3 things: our name, our location, and why we are interested in this event.
Oh, assalamu alaikum,
Walaikum
Stephanie.
salam.
Why we're interested. I'm training for my first marathon this year. Although I don't think I'll be making this one. I think I have a wedding planned that weekend, but I did register. So I'm not sure that I'll be able to make it, but I do want to train with everybody. And there was something else you wanted me to share. What was it, Agina?
Location. Is the
I'm in
only other-
Atlanta.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to running with you, and we'll talk about where that running is going to take place in just a few moments. All right, so the travel information. So this is a 3-day event. So our arrival is Thursday, November 14th. That's my mom's birthday, around 6 p.m. and departure on Sunday morning, 10 a.m. All right, so there will be carpool options leaving from Atlanta, and then of course carpool options for departure on Sunday. We do need volunteers. So again, nothing has to be decided right now today. I know people are still in the mode of just deciding if they want to do the event, but we will be asking for volunteers to drive, and of course providing a stipend for that. And there's a beautiful skyline of Savannah.
When and if you choose to participate in this vacation with us during the registration process, there will be an option for you to let us know if you're interested in volunteering as a carpool person. Sure.
All right. I should have done a drum roll. So this is our house, and I love Nora's enthusiasm because she's like, let's find the house first whenever we start planning a racecation. So it's a beautiful home. It's got a lot of bedrooms, a lot of square footage. Stephanie is like, oh my goodness, I gotta change.
I saw your face, Stephanie. What wedding?
Look, maybe I don't need to go to that wedding.
No, just playing.
So it sleeps for 22. We can share the house details. There'll be a link. You can look at all the pictures and see everything that's there. There's lots of amenities in this home. We've poured over the pictures. It looks amazing. It's beautiful. It's got lots of common spaces, lots of good outdoor spaces for us to gather and, fellowship over food and just sisterhood and different things that we have planned. So it is a small drive to the race day. So we want to make sure we're waking up early, but we plan to have a volunteer who's a non-runner who can do the shuttles if people are finishing at different times. So it's a beautiful house. I'm really excited about it. I know Nora is really excited about it. Kayaks, that's not my thing, but if that's your thing, awesome. So Stephanie put the kayaks in the chat. So yeah, there's lots of different amenities there. And again, you will be able to take a look at the pictures after you get the slideshow to see the house. Just to manage expectations. So there are some single beds, but if it's a queen or a king, then that is considered 2 people will be sharing that bed. Again, it depends on how many folks actually sign up, but the king for sure and the queen as well will be double occupants. But there are some single beds and some bunk beds. All right, the training. All right, training is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm being serious about this, even though Noor and I will both agree that marathon isn't our jam. But for the training, we will have our long runs on Sundays. There's an option for track Tuesdays with Yulene. She's gonna be like, come on, don't stop, let's go. I just remember her just pushing me when I was doing those quarter-mile repeats. So we have track Tuesdays, long run Sundays. We will be at the Silver Comet Trail. Oh my goodness, look how tiny I am. I can't believe this. This is back when we were training for our first marathon, which was also in Savannah. And interestingly enough. And it was winter training, so it was so cold. So this will be very different. Silver Comet is amazing because it is a continuous, wide, uninterrupted trail. And it's perfect for getting in those long miles. And let's see. So it's gonna be 16 weeks, so it'll start at the end of July. Yes, Stephanie.
What should our long run be prior to starting the training? Like how many miles should we be up to?
So you should have a base of at least 6 miles.
Okay.
Yes, great question.
6 miles or 60 minutes.
6 miles, thank
Okay.
you. So the training is going to include not just the long runs and the option for track Tuesday speed work, but it will also include nutritional guidance on how to rest and recover your body. Definitely strength guidance, because you cannot prepare for a marathon without strength training. And just lots of different tips and tricks about how to mentally prepare, physically prepare for the race. Any other questions before? Again, we will have a detailed training session for those who decide to go forward. Yes.
What time is the long runs on Sundays?
So we're going to start as early as possible. So we are running 2 different training plans, and so we might have 2 different start times. So we will have a continuous run group. That's the group who have set the goal of running the entire marathon. And then we will have a run walk group who are using the Galloway method of distance running, which is a run walk run ratio. And so that group, which I am going to be a part of that group, would probably start earlier. And that's looking like starting at 6 a.m. and the next group starts at 6:30, because we want to do our best to try to end at the same time so that we can conclude together. So likely around 6 a.m. would be our start time.
And the earlier we can get out there, because we are going to start training during the summertime, and we want to not be in the dead of heat while we're training. So it's going to be really early.
One thing I will add, there's a note at the top of this slide that talks about clearance from your doctor. This is really important. If you have any lingering health issues or anything that you're concerned about, it's going to be very important to get that clearance before you begin training for the marathon.
So starting this upcoming week, all the way up until when we officially start training, you have 8 weeks to prepare yourself for marathon training. Stephanie asked the question, where should I be? We recommend you be able to run 6 miles or 60 minutes. And I don't want you to get tied too much to the mileage right now. So if you want to, move for 60 minutes, you should be able to run comfortably for 60 minutes. But some things that we also want you to kind of prepare yourself for prior to training. And like Agina said, we'll have a meeting prior to training beginning. Determine what your current pace is, because sometimes people just really don't know what their pace is. So know what your pace is before we start training. Also start thinking about what you eat and what you're putting into your body, because nutrition can make or break your marathon success or lack of success. Also, we're going to ask you to complete a mile test, but that stuff is not important if you're just interested in it. But if you know you're going to do it, these are things that leading up to training starting, these are the things that we're going to ask you to start doing and start preparing for. But yeah.
Other questions before we move on? And again, much more details about training will be coming up for those who decide that they are absolutely going to do it. And when you, and I mentioned 2 different methods, welcome, Assalamu alaikum, Kelly, 2 different training methods, the continuous runners and then the run walkers. When you register, you will have a chance to say which you are interested in. And you could, of course, you could always change your mind, but we want to get an idea of how many are in each group. But if you're just joining us, we will have this training meeting for those who officially register as we get into July. The date for that will be forthcoming, but training does start July 28th. Oh, this is so fun. So this was a picture from our last Racecation in South Alabama. So much fun. So much fun. So this is a resources and tools page that you will get after the meeting concludes, and you will see this presentation. So you'll see here reference the Jeff Galloway run walk method. I am personally a fan of this. I've never done it, but I just where my body is, where I am in my running journey, I want to give this a try. And so he's been doing this for over 30 years, written books about it. If you Google it, you will see all sorts of information about it. So when you get this slideshow, if you're interested in the run walk method of training for distance, I would encourage you to look into that. But you'll see here, you'll have some links to nutrition. If you don't already have a GPS tracking device, just some suggestions there. Shoes, this is so important. If you're still wearing the same pair of shoes you've been wearing for 2 years, that will not work. You need good, supportive running shoes that are tailored to you and your stride. If you've never been to a shoe store and had them fit you, watch your stride, and really sit down and take time with you, I would highly encourage going through that process for them to find the best fit shoe for you. There's also a link to different types of hydration packs. Personally, myself, like I've gone through the gamut of the different styles, but whatever fits your comfort level, it's just going to be really important to make sure that you have something you can carry with you on those runs to carry your hydration and also your fuel. Anything you want to add from this resources page, Nora?
Yeah, it is recommended that you do start marathon training with a newer pair of shoes, because you don't want a pair of shoes to get to the point where you have to replace it towards the end of your marathon training. You want something that your feet are used to, because it's always recommended that you don't try a new pair of shoes during race day, especially during race day that you're running 26 miles, right? You could potentially get away with it if you're doing like a 5K, 10K maybe, but you want to make sure that your feet are really comfortable in those shoes, and you don't want to have to change it in the middle of or towards the end of training. So think about, purchasing a new pair of shoes. The GPS tracking device, you can check with us if you need help on how to select one, but it just makes us delivering your training to you easier, and for you to tell us what you've been doing easier too. It's not 100% necessary, it just makes things easier. And that's all I'm going to add about this resource page. And this is just a little bit of resources that we have. Once you get into the group, once you start training, and once other people join in, there's going to be just like a wealth of resources that's going to be shared between all of us. What things work well, what things don't work well. But this is just to kind of get you started on thinking about some tools and resources to help you on your journey.
This is a picture of me and my sister-in-law at our last Racecation. All right, so when we think about having an experience like this, it really is a Racecation. It is an experience. If you joined a little bit late, you didn't get to see the reveal of the house. It's amazing that you will get this presentation and you will get to click through all the pictures of the space where we are staying. So this is the breakdown of the overall fee for minus the registration. So you will have to go ahead and register with the marathon. This is everything else. So the fee includes your accommodations for Thursday night through Sunday morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, 16 weeks of training. So this does not include the race registration. So it's currently $95. If you decide like, yes, I absolutely want to do this, I would go ahead and register soon before the price increases. Carpool if you're using that, and then tours. We have an option of a tour. Nora can share more about that in just a moment. And please, this note is really important if you need financial support, or if you, mashallah, if Allah has truly blessed you and you're able to support a sister who may need that financial assistance and you're able to give, we highly encourage that. So you'll see the final cost for the basic member and the sustainer member here at the bottom of the screen. Nora, did you want to add anything about this page?
No, not anything. Well, just two things maybe. Just about the tours really quickly. We are going to have an option on Friday to do a tour, and then it's definitely optional, but it is a really nice tour where they kind of talk about the Gullah Geechee history that's there in Savannah, even about how Islam has influenced that area in some way, the Gullah Geechee history there. So we went on the tour back in 2014 when we did our first Racecation. It was just really, really interesting. So that'll just be an option for you if you want to do it. And then just a little bit about the financial support. So there's different ways that we can expand your payment plan and stuff like that. So don't let finance be a thing that holds you back from doing it. Just speak up and let us know what you're able to do, and we'll try to work with you. But like Agina said, if you can give and support a sister so she can go on a trip, that would be wonderful as well.
All right. Let's go. Woo! Marathon, here we go. So where do we go from here? Reserve your spot. There will be a link to register, and it will have all the questions, all the things, so that we get all the information to best support you in this journey and prepare for you to begin working with us. Build your base. You have time. There are 8 weeks. Build that base up to at least 60 minutes or 6 miles, if not more. Get those shoes. Start thinking about your diet. We are going to be setting up coaching on our coaching platform, and we'll send more information for those who decide to do this race with us. We will have our pre-training meeting on July 21st, same time at 2 o'clock. Training will start the following week on July 28th, our first group run. And again, no need to memorize anything. Just know that it's going to start on Sunday, July 28th. It will be early in the morning, but we'll send more details moving forward from there. We have a WhatsApp group you can join from the community, and under Muslimas Endure. Anyone can join, so that'll be a really important way for us to just give those updates, tips, tricks, and of course, to motivate each other. All right.
So once you get this slide deck, everything that is underlined is actually a link that's going to take you to the registration for the Racecation, which is separate from the registration, which I actually should have added, and it will be added by the time you get the slide. It's going to be a link for you to register for the race if you haven't already registered. And then where it says build your base, when you click on that link, it is the base plan that was created by Every Woman's Marathon. They created a 12-week plan. So if you would have started 4 weeks ago, you could get through their whole thing. But the plan is actually, when you get to 8 weeks, it takes you right up to where we're going to pick up at. So it takes you to about 6 miles in 8 weeks. So that is a base plan that Every Woman's Marathon put out. And then to complete the food tracker, that is actually a tracker that we want you to do. It's a 3-day food tracker where you're going to like literally write down what you're eating morning, noon, and night, what times you're eating and what things are you consuming. Because as we go through this journey, it's going to be important that because the running and the training is going to take so much out of us, we want to make sure we're putting in the good things into our body so that we can have the energy. So we're going to start looking at what what are the things that we're eating and how is it affecting our performance. So that is a tracker that we want you to do. We don't want you to do it right now. It's going to be closer to training. But we do want you to start looking at, am I eating clean food right now? And that's it. Those are the only things I wanted to kind of speak a little bit more on. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So time for questions and answers. Anyone have any burning questions for us? Great question. Nora, did you see the chat question from Mary?
Yeah, I do. I don't recommend any. I don't have any personal recommendations of multivitamins that I recommend you get.
Walaikum salam, Amani.
No, I don't. There are some supplements. I just don't like to give blanket like recommendations to people because everybody is so different. The thing that I'm gonna say right now is make sure that you're pulling back on processed food and you're introducing more fruits and vegetables to your diet. And that is the recommendation I'm gonna give on multivitamins. And that's why I'm in. Now, if someone else has a recommendation on a good multivitamin that they use that they can endorse or something like that, you can definitely send Miriam a recommendation. And the reason why I don't like to give like blanket recommendations on supplements is because I'm not a nutritionist. I do have information that I can share about certain things, but I don't like to tell people to go. I don't even like to tell people to go out and get a particular shoe. They say, oh, what shoe works? Nike, Ultra. I don't give recommendations on that because we are so different. And the way that our body responds to stuff is different. So I don't like to give just blanket recommendations, but I do like to give general recommendation that helps you. So pulling back on processed food, not saying that you do eat processed foods like that, and then increasing your intake of fruits and vegetables is a good way to make sure you're getting some of the essential nutrients that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. And if they come up, please join the WhatsApp and you can always post it there.
Yeah.
Is it okay to alternate the long runs from a Saturday or Saturday or Sunday?
Absolutely, as long as it happens each week. So if you're not able to run with the group on Sundays, you can absolutely do it, even if it's not on the weekend. It's just making sure that you position it in a part of the week where you're giving your body adequate rest. So you don't want to do something super strenuous the day before your long run. But you can definitely adjust that as needed.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I will add marathon training is a beast, okay? It is not for the faint of heart. And I think marathon training is important. It's beneficial to do it in groups, for sure. I remember when we trained for the first marathon we did, my 20-mile runs, I had to do it by myself because I was out of town both times we did our 20-mile run. And alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. But I hope we can accommodate most people to run together as a group because it's so beneficial to train for a marathon in a group.
All right. So we're going to end with gratitude, and we'll just go through the screens and share our gratitude. Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful for Muslims Indoor because it's It's brought me lifelong friendships, opportunities that I never, ever, ever would have done if I wasn't a part of this group. So alhamdulillah. And for the ability to get up and move that Allah has blessed me with. We'll go with, what do I see on my screen? Amina.
Alhamdulillah, grateful for Muslim Mentor, grateful for the sisterhood, grateful for the ability to challenge ourselves and just to continuously, better ourselves and health wise. It does help us in all ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, just having this outlet for us. Alhamdulillah, just thank you for all of you sisters.
Kelly.
Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to be able to even be in a place where I could even think about running a marathon, although I do feel I was kind of bullied into it because this was supposed to be my half marathon year. But alhamdulillah, I'm grateful to have friends who will push me, so thank you. And also, I'm excited because I was a bit jealous when you all went, because I just joined when you all went to the Gulf Shores or whichever, and I was like, what, wait, what? And then all the pictures and stuff, so now I get to, I'm excited for that. So alhamdulillah for good friends and good community and, good ability. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Mariam.
I am grateful for the group, grateful to even be in a mental space to receive this marathon. Grateful for the information, being amongst people who've already done it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So thank you. And thank you for this session today too.
Mariam.
I'm grateful for health and that my sister is out the hospital and she's healthy too.
Stephanie.
I'm grateful for Emmy, for Nora, for Gina for planning this. And I'm grateful to be in a mental, physical, financial space to even consider challenging myself in this way. So alhamdulillah.
Nora.
Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for the ability to move. I'm grateful that I can still consider running 26 miles, even though doing some of my runs, I'm at 4 miles. So subhanAllah, how would do 26 of this? But alhamdulillah, I'm grateful that this group is going to help hold me accountable so that I'll be able to make it through. I'm grateful for my boys, my husband, and my family. Alhamdulillah.
Casey.
You muted.
There we go. Assalamu alaikum.
Right,
I'm thankful for just the aptitude to even be able to say, I want to do something like this, and just my family, my girls, and just, I don't know, also the health, because health is such it's a commodity. It's something that you can't even put a price on the health. And so to even if you're not in the best healthy state, but then this can be, the jump start to maybe growing and getting better and just, I don't know, hanging in there. And it affects so many other parts of your life. So I'm just happy.
Alhamdulillah. Did I miss anyone? I think that's everyone. Okay. All right. So again, we're going to close out with Surah Al-Asr, but this presentation will be coming to you. You can click through all the links, especially the house, right? You want to see what the house looks like. But any questions that come up, please join the WhatsApp so that we can get those questions answered for you. Please start building your base, and we will close with Surah Al-Asr. من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالصبر. All right. Thank you, everyone.